Welcome to another video concerning the Mvsx arcade cabinet. In the previous video I showed you that you can open up the cabinet on the back and remove the slow USB cable. I also inserted the USB stick containing Hylox on the inside of the arcade cabinet. Now here's the thing, if you are using multiple USB sticks for multiple programs, it's pretty undoable opening the cabinet each time. So I bought a new 3.0 USB cable, a mil-to-mil one, to replace that older, slower cable, reconnecting the USB port on the back. I also want to show you a few things. Next to the original Mvsx operating system, you can also run a lot more different operating systems on this cabinet. And I want to talk about the benefits and also downsides of these different operating systems that can run on this arcade cabinet. If you want to fully use the capabilities of a different operating system or multiple operating systems, I suggest replacing that USB cable. Open up the cabinet by removing the 5 screws. I already had the USB stick containing Hylox installed from the last video, but I'm taking it out and replacing it with a new USB cable. Put one end in the motherboard USB inlet and the other one in the USB inlet on the bottom, which is the power supply and connector box. You may have to fiddle a bit in the search for the inlet, but you'll get there. Time to close the unit. A tip is to work from the bottom screw, as that holds the weight, then work crosswise in putting those screws back in. In this video, I will show you how to install a different OS. Here's the thing though, I am still not going to tell you exactly how to obtain the different OSs or ROM packs. I will guide you a bit, as I don't want my channel getting strikes over illegal content. The first thing I advise you to do is to follow one of these groups on Facebook. I'll leave a link to these groups in the video description. Search a few threads and somewhere you will miraculously find a link to a Telegram group. You will need to have a Telegram account as well. I strongly advise you to use the Telegram desktop or web client in order to download the needed files easily to your desktop and work with them. Now there are a few OSs and packs you can choose. It all depends on your personal preference and what kind of games or settings you like. We can all agree that the original Mvsx OS is absolute trash, an opinion being emboldened when you simply install another operating system. You need at least one USB stick and more if you want to try and keep the different operating systems as well as ROM packs. They all have their ups and downs. In this video, I will install the Omega operating system, next to showing you the Kriss and Usagi ROM pack. Installing all these OSs require the same approach, so this applies to all of them. You will need to download these 4 specific files, for Omega as an example, in order to make it complete as one zip file. You will also need, specifically, WinRAR, not WinZip or 7-zip to open these files. Once you have unzipped everything, you are left with these files. In order to install any different OS on this system, you will always need to have these 2 files present. If they are not, you likely downloaded a ROM pack instead of an OS. Use a 3.0 USB stick, formatted in the FAT32 format. If it is larger than 32 GB, you can use a tiny program like FAT32 format in order to format larger USB sticks to FAT32 instead of like NTFS or exFAT. Once that's done, just copy the content straight to the root folder of your USB stick. Place in the USB stick in the back of the Mvsx and power up the machine. Go to the original Mvsx operating system. You will see that the USB stick is properly connected, displayed by the USB stick logo in the corner. Go to Settings, System Upgrade, and it will prompt to message if you want to upgrade. Select OK, and it will automatically begin the upgrade process. This will take a minute, and after that, you are greeted with an extra option when the machine restarts. Now I have Mvsx, Hylox, and Omega installed at this point. In order to make any of these work, you will need separate USB sticks, each containing that specific OS and its ROMs. Just clicking on one of these OSs isn't going to work without the proper USB stick, simply because the upgrade process only installs a tiny portion of the OS to the system itself, but needs to run from the USB stick as well as load the games from the stick. Restart the machine if it freezes the first time, a known problem, but a one-time bug that is gone after a restart. Now Omega is a whole different experience compared to Mvsx and Hylox. Its menu looks nicer, has more games than Mvsx, but less than Hylox. Omega is, in my opinion, more based to get the proper mid-90s Neo Geo experience. Its screen ratio is more forward-free, and the scanline option is a lot better, if that's your kind of thing. Here are some comparisons between Hylox and Omega when it comes to image options. Next to installing an OS, there's also the option to download different ROM packs with different user interface looks. I will show you the Kris pack first, which consists of 4 specific files. Download these and use the same tactic as stated previously. Once unpacked, you are left with these 2 folders. Copy them to the root folder of a similar formatted FAT32 USB stick. There's no need for installer files, as Kris is just a ROM pack. Kris runs under Hylox and lets you choose between classic, mid-80s beat-em-ups and shoot-em-up games, which span out to the early 2000s. It's stated by the owner that not every game will run perfect, but it sure is a nice change from the new Geo catalog, resembling something like Final Burn Alpha, if you are in the mood for it. Here's another ROM pack, which packs another user interface called Usagi. I placed this on a smaller SanDisk USB stick, and I have to say, the options that Usagi has are much more complete as a package. You can switch between playing the Hylox Neo Geo 150 package games, the games that are similar to the Kris package, as well as play Sega Genesis Mega Drive games on the fly. As you can see, all of these OSs have different flexes. I like Omega's UI borders, but it has less games than Hylox. Kris has some terrific classic games, which some of them I didn't know even existed, as most of them had better and newer ports to home consoles. But Kris is a bit buggy and runs into a black screen or even a total reboot when hitting the options button from time to time. Overall, my preference goes to Usagi. It's stable, has a huge catalog of games included for everyone, which you can switch to at any moment, and I don't feel the need to use any other OS or ROM pack for the time being. I will continue to update with videos, as newer updates will surely be present in the near future. I again want to thank you for watching this video. I hope all of this stuff helped you out if you are a newer or experienced Mvsx user. If it helped, I would appreciate a like, and a subscribe is appreciated. And I'll catch you on the next video.